I'm Marvel. This channel exists to connect gamers to MMOs they'll love. In this series, I play an old-school, non-instance, group-based, refreshingly deep MMORPG called Arelith. It's built on Neverwinter Nights 1 Enhanced Edition and has been releasing original content longer than Classic WoW. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more MMO content. Welcome to the first episode in Season 2, through which we will follow the budding story of Marle, a moon elf spellsword. In the last episode, after victoriously collapsing the bindings of the gelatinous cube, she sought to challenge two young grizzly bears just outside the gates of Scalyard in the Misty Weald. Never underestimate your opponent. You can tell that I entered this fight not even at full health, and that may be my undoing. After my summoned hog vaporizes into planar mist, I attempt to offset incoming damage through the use of healing kits. However, when I'm healing, I'm not damaging, so at best I'm prolonging my demise. But these healing kits aren't free, so it's costing me coin every time I use one. Moreover, I fail to take into account the total number of foes I would be fighting. A fae known as a Grig, floating behind a bear, has drawn the attention of my pseudo-dragon. Realizing my string of mistakes, I risk attacks of opportunity made against me in retreat, and quickly dart back to the security of the village, a single hit from certain death. As I zone in, the grizzly transitioned more quickly, yet my pet took the brunt of the Urson attack. For some reason, its death did not damage me. Perhaps an Arelith veteran can illuminate the reason why. Yet what's most important is that I make it to the gates. This retreat is eerily reminiscent of my many trains in early EverQuest. I quickly shut the door, yet apparently these bears know how to open them. Moreover, an oxen investigates. Perhaps it was once a victim to unconsented bear violence in its past. I address the situation publicly in my embarrassment and wonder of a way to quickly mask my mistake. This is not how I want to be remembered.
Always get my way.
Realizing I may need more practice, I return to the Ghostwood. I see a unique zombie and execute my assault. Yet upon doing so, I see Aldo, who's riding a horse while fighting. I'm uncertain what the mechanical benefits or limitations are to horseback melee or archery, yet it's an expanded feature of Arelith. Quick work is made of the animated corpse. Immediately afterward, Aldo asks for the location of a hermit living out beyond in the tundra. You can provision supplies to them via a type of writ that we have yet to complete, yet this is an excellent example of interpersonal socialization. In fact, the player behind Aldo very well may know where the hermit is and is simply veiling an invitation to travel with him through the notoriously dangerous frozen wastes. Unfortunately, Marle does not know where the hermit resides, so we amicably part ways. Completing my atonement in the Ghostwood, I return to Scalyard. In the past few episodes, observant viewers may have noticed that Marle's piety is rather low. In this case, it's -7 out of 100. You can slowly increase the number at a dedicated altar, although in future episodes we'll learn of a more efficient way of acquiring it. Moreover, Mathian sends a greeting in the chat, and you can see the automatopoetic Kashang performing mercantile duties. Or it's Kashang. Either way, remember him because he becomes important in a later episode. Realizing that I'm only a few experience away from level 6, I decide to open the door to the granary to expedite the process. Lo and behold, a local village boy is being ambushed by an array of violent rodents. Incidentally, most of these vermin are dire rats, and pose a more potent threat than most of the undead we just cut down. Yet, as a correlated reward for saving this young boy, I ding. Level 6 is a major milestone for most classes, and for the spell sword it's no exception. Elemental Strike is an additional melee ability that can trigger once a round that deals a selected type of elemental damage, which scales with class level and your character's base intelligence modifier. If you know that a foe is weak to a particular element, you can set the attack to adjust accordingly. Each element has its own visual effects, and at level 16, the skill evolves into a far more powerful version, which we'll cover in a later episode. For now, it will nearly double our DPS. We'll see it in action soon. Moreover, we earn 2 more additional feats. I choose Dodge and Extend Spell. The former is principally taken as a prerequisite for Blade Singer, a prestige path of the spellsword, plus its circumstantial benefit to AC. And the latter enables your spells, modified by the feat, to last longer, which is helpful to keep buffs active. I then select 2 spells that augment your weapon, which would ordinarily be useful, yet we'll find out later if I made a wise choice. Veterans of Arelith, are there spells here that cannot be purchased or scribed elsewhere that I absolutely should learn, or are these choices ultimately benign? Remember those weapon spells I just learned? I tried casting Keen Edge. While I successfully cast the spell, its effects were overridden by the imbuement on my blade from my spell sword special ability. I then tried to cast Greater Magic Weapon, same issue. Apparently there is a spell that stacks with Imbue Weapon, yet we'll have to wait to see. Instead of buffing my weapon, I wish to now augment my armor. You can see a small yellow icon to the bottom of the left of the modified spell image. These indicate that those spells benefit from Extend Spell, so they will remain active for significantly longer, yet occupy a spell slot of a higher tier, so it's a trade-off. We'll have to see if it's worth it. Be that as it may, we still haven't checked what's in this cave yet. Hopefully my excursion won't harmonize with my frolic into the Weald moments ago. Of course, I'm immediately flanked on both sides from unfamiliar mobs. On my right, a horde of giant beetles scurry my way, backed by Sparks. That sounds funny. Troublemakers throwing what appear to be darts, whereas our 6 o'clock is now an open target of an entirely other group, some of whom can leverage sneak attacks. However, I remember that I now can use Elemental Strike. While I learned to access it via the GUI later, here I type in a shortcode to automatically trigger the ability as soon as it becomes available. You can see that I'm beginning to make quick work of this once dangerous situation. Moreover, as I defeat each little gremlin, one of my writs updates, so I do have work from the mayor here. While the battle continues to rage, Elemental Strike is better conceptually categorized as an array of different magical attacks that can interact with, yet also differ from, the magical imbuement of your weapon as a spell sword. For example, my imbuement is currently magical, yet I'm activating Vitriolic Strike, which deals acid damage. You'll see why in a future episode why this mismatch is not ideal in this scenario, although there may be some circumstances in which you would want one element for your weapon and another for Elemental Strike. Eventually, at Spell Sword level 16, the feat evolves and additional powerful benefits are applied. I continue making my way through this abandoned mine. Sensing danger is afoot, I cast True Strike. As I walk across the soft dirt, a massive Umber Hulk rises forth. As I engage in melee, I notice that Elemental Strike is not automatically triggering, yet damage against me is incoming, and I have to deal with not dying first. Yet, as I mend my wounds, mobs from down the hall hear the noise and rush to join the fray. But thankfully, Elemental Strike is exceptionally powerful and now seems to be tripling my potential damage output. I circle back and stumble upon others delving the cave. The two orcs to the far left seem to be summons of a tribal shaman, a unique path to this shaman class in Arelith. However, this group is only here to mine the available ore, so I leave them in peace. But here's a door. Where does it go? Deeper into the cave. Yet I'm immediately greeted with a more adept group of gremlins, including an elite. Thankfully, I'm able to divide and conquer by separating the pack to defeat two smaller groups instead of one large squad. Vitriolic Strike continues to impress. Here's a gate just asking to be opened. As I walk in, I notice what seem to be the children of beholders to the left, which causes me to ask myself if I should be down here alone. But before I can respond, I'm the target of an onslaught of spells. I try to hide behind a corner to repeat the same tactic that worked just moments ago, yet now I'm blinded. I can't see a thing. What do I do? Watch the next episode to find out. Thanks for watching.